What's up, everyone? We're the V.B.P Prophecy, and I'm Rodney.
And I'm Ryan.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that. I wanted to say, we're back! And like a bunch of stupid shit. Wow, that was aggressive. But that's pretty dumb.
What is?
To say that we're back. We already talked about that. But
yeah,
I wanted to say it's pretty dumb just because nobody fucking knows us. But
yeah, technically we did take a hiatus, but
it's been about 2 years. I got married.
has it been 2 years?
Mm-hmm. It's been almost 2 years.
No shit, it
2 full
has.
years.
October of 2020 is when we started doing this. And I think we only did it until we stopped before I moved, didn't I? Dude, I left the state, lived in Minnesota for like a whole almost year, moved to Athens, and I've been living over there for almost a whole year. So yeah,
You were gone for 8 months, and then
that tracks.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you already know all this shit, but nobody else does. I got married.
You did.
Yeah, you were there.
I was the best man. It was a good time. Did it in a barn.
It wasn't. Yeah, I guess it was a retrofitted barn.
I
don't know if that's the right terminology, but whatever.
wouldn't say retrofitted, maybe modernized.
No, it was specifically kept old. It wasn't a barn anymore. At one point, it was a barn. It's a rock barn, is what it was called.
Still a barn.
It's a historic center. Anyways,
Yep.
It was nice. It was good. My wife no longer works with the podcast because, we stalemated for quite some time. And
You don't shit where you eat.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. Ryan and Ansley are no longer together.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, big internet news.
Yeah, we were the hottest couple.
Yeah, no, I don't know if anyone will ever even see those episodes anymore. But
I think Ansley was only on maybe one for like 30 minutes.
yeah, and my wife Leslie.
I don't even think she
wasn't
came
on
the
any.
show.
Yeah.
Well, it's just we kind of gave them ancillary roles. It's something more to do. Like Ansley's whole entire life was supposed to just be like creating artwork and design and social media, but
she didn't do anything.
Well, she did create a logo. It's a logo we still use. The one with the plane and the sound bar and shit.
Yeah,
She did make that, and she made the one with the chair and the microphone.
Yeah,
our actual logo. So she did make those. Thank God she never copyrighted them. But
yeah, they were together for about as long as I've been with my wife now. We were
together for a couple
5 or 6 years, something like that.
Just shy of 5. Yeah. But
Ryan's got a big new job, which I hesitate to talk about because it's super fucking boring, and this podcast is already boring enough.
Yeah, I sell commercial insurance. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, but pays the bills. If anybody ever went back and listened to our old episodes, I was in the process of interviewing for that job when I was...
It's part of the reason why we stopped.
Yep, because like I said, I had to move across the country, literally to the opposite side. God, what a shit show that was.
Oh, yeah. You lost half your stuff. Not half.
I lost important items. Not half, but value-wise, probably half. I hired a secondhand moving company, and I didn't realize they were secondhand at the time because I don't know shit about moving companies. I paid them. They came, they picked up the stuff, said they'd be there in 5 to 7 business days. Thought, great. Drove on up there. Had a suitcase full of comfy clothes, a couple of random little items I didn't want on the truck. And they showed up with my stuff 2.5 months later, and they broke my TV.
Was it like a fucking 70-inch flat screen?
It was a 65-inch Sony 4K TV. It was, when I bought it, it was $1,900. I had just finished paying it off.
And the reason they broke it was because they put the fucking leg, like the part where the screw goes into the leg with the screws still attached to the leg, right in front of the screen
with no padding, no nothing
between the box. Yeah, I remember you called me. You told me about that.
Yeah, I was livid. They also put,
and then within like 24 hours, the company
dissolved,
completely dissolved, was completely gone, didn't exist.
Well, they put probably a foot-sized hole in the back of one of my nightstands. They lost probably 25% of the pieces to my desk, which unfortunately was just the right amount of things for the desk not to stay standing.
And that is like one of the biggest reasons we didn't do the podcast remotely.
Yeah, because when I didn't have my desk and I had nothing to set it up on and everything like that, I was so angry. At that point, it was kind of just flying and
Use it as an excuse to be lazy.
I wouldn't say lazy. You know what? I was really busy up there anyway. The content you would have got out of me was more or less exhaustion. Plus, Ansley in the background. I really didn't even barely have time to do things for myself.
Situation.
No, and they even told me that was how it was going to be when I was up there. So it's kind of like, yep, par for the course.
Yeah, and then I fucking came up to Minnesota when you were done and helped you move back.
Yeah, because I refused to hire a moving company, so I got a Penske truck, and me and Rodney, what does it take, 3 days to drive here?
3 full days, something like that. Driving like 10 hours a day. That shit, it was really fun, but like that was grueling.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The road tripping aspect, just me and you on the road for 3 days, that was fun.
That was fun.
Being in a fucking Penske truck with a governor that doesn't let us go faster than 65 miles an hour.
Oh my god.
We're driving through, what was it, 6 states?
6 different states, 2 of which were super flat in the middle of like a really bad snowstorm and windstorm. So
it
like
was January.
We're in a 16-foot tall box truck and the wind's blowing like 30, 40 miles an hour
gosh.
sideways while we're going down the highway.
Nashville, baby.
Oh my
I
god.
remember we got out of the car and about took us out.
That shit was
Got
rough.
carried away.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
that was a tough one. And then when we finally did make it, it was like we pulled in, what was it, probably 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we didn't stop unloading that truck until probably 9, 10 o'clock p.m.
Oh, that was the worst part.
Yeah, because we were going up 3 flights of stairs with everything. I mean, my TVs, my couches, my bed, the bases, everything, and it was 25 degrees outside.
That sucked so much. Well, I mean, it wasn't so cold until the end of the day, but
yeah, when the wind picked up and it got nighttime, by that time, I remember me and you were so exhausted, like we could barely stand, barely breathe. We just ordered fucking calzones.
Oh, dude, that ended up being those calzones we ordered ended up being
some of the most
best
rewarding calzones.
Oh my god, I didn't even eat the full thing because I got drunk and passed out. But like, oh, dude, that sauce that I got with that calzone ended up
Jalapeno ranch
causing me to.
I think you want to know something that's totally mind crushing.
What?
Their ranch, it's Ken's.
Ugh.
That's what I said.
I don't care about the fucking ranch they use, but like whatever they did to that sauce was magical because like for the next like 5 or 6 months, I sought to recreate that sauce.
He even said when I asked the guy, because I ordered it one time when my mom and my sister were visiting, and they gave me this like shitty craft tasting ranch that's like the sweet, gross, pasty kind.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not what I was expecting. So I went to go order it the other day, and I even asked the guy, I was like, did you guys start using a new ranch? And he was like, no, I've been ordering the same one since I became manager, and that was probably 5-6 years ago. And I'm like, so you haven't ran out of ranch and had to sub it with something from the store or whatever? He's like, no, last time we ran out of ranch was probably about 2 years ago.
Probably lying.
Well,
everyone's had fucking shortages on products lately.
So
I literally work for a fucking restaurant.
So I literally told the guy, I was like, look, if your ranch hasn't changed, I'm going to order. But if it's still that same dog shit ranch that I got last time, then this might be the last time I order. I said 50% of the reason why I buy calzones from you guys is because your ranch is killer.
I'm pretty sure 50% of the reason you buy any food from like any place is because of their ranch.
Their sauce, yeah. Like Chick-fil-A.
Mostly ranch.
The biggest reason I eat Chick-fil-A is because of Chick-fil-A sauce. The biggest reason I go to Zaxby's is because of Zax sauce.
How often do you eat Subway now? Since I stopped working.
You know, there was a moment there where I had it a lot. Mainly because my job, I travel a lot. I'm driving all over the place. I'm in different cities every single day. And when you're in these tiny little cities of, 400 people, whatever, like no one lives there and there's nothing, it's just farmland and country. Dude, the one fucking thing that you can almost always guarantee on is that there's a damn Subway in that town.
Yeah,
no matter what.
I was trying to make a point about me being like the best Subway artist.
Oh, well,
sandwich
for sure,
artist.
I don't enjoy Subway as much as I did when you worked there, but
You don't have to kiss my ass. It's fine.
but at the same time, well, no, because I can't get anyone to fucking deluxe meat it without charging me $3.
Not only that, dude, but like I eat Subway, I think once every 3 to 6 months. Actually, probably even less than that because ever since I stopped working at Subway, it's just not the same.
See, and when I left Subway, which was way earlier than you did, because I only worked there for a year when I was a junior in high school, so I got burnt out of it, but that wore off pretty quick because I didn't eat it. Because even when I worked,
It's
I
not
didn't,
that I'm burnt out. Nobody makes it right. Everybody puts too much sauce, not enough lettuce and spinach. Nobody breaks up the spinach so that way it goes into the sandwich fucking perfectly.
See, but people don't care about their jobs like that.
It's not even about caring about your jobs. Just like make a good fucking sandwich because like there's
No,
a line
I agree.
where once you cross it and like it's just a sloppy mess in some paper, it's not really a sandwich.
See, I'm easier to satisfy. And the reason why that is because you're the opposite of me. You like a lot of veggies and you like little sauce.
I've changed a little bit.
But I like when they skimp. Like when I say onions, I don't mean get a fucking fistful of onions.
Neither do I.
I
I
mean
don't think anyone does.
fucking pinch them on there. Same thing with, dude, black olives. There's one time I said black olives. Dude, motherfucker got 2 handfuls.
I really like onions now, so my
It's like, get
opinions
'em
on
out.
onions have changed. I hate black olives, but when it comes to the sauce thing you said, I like little amounts of sauce because I want like 7 different sauces.
Yeah, which I,
And then
okay,
they all
fine.
mix together and you get like this nice like weird blend of all these flavors and shit. But like
Not me.
if you're if
I
you're
go
gonna
for 2
if
maybe.
you're gonna fucking hammer fist that shit, you're just gonna squeeze as hard as you can with every bottle. I don't want any sauce.
So yeah, I love it because I'll go there and I'll go ask for like a chicken bacon ranch. I hear and
I know
it's-
that's what you always get.
It's a new no, it's a new rule for me. I only order a chicken bacon ranch if they have creamy sriracha, because not every location has it.
They don't have barbecue anymore. That makes me fucking
Yeah,
sad.
barbecue's just gone.
It makes
I
me
mean,
so sad.
and they changed the names of a lot of their sauces, so like they're the same sauce but they're called something different, so it's confusing.
Dude, they've done a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Different.
But I will say the one thing consistent about them is that their creamy sriracha always tastes the same, and I love their sriracha sauce. I don't know what
I've
it is.
never cared
It's
for it.
it's literally sriracha sauce with mayonnaise. I understand that, but it is delicious.
Pretty much any sauce is more complicated than that. There's no way it's just sriracha and mayonnaise.
Maybe vinegar.
No, it doesn't. We don't have to fucking break down the sauce. I'm just saying. It's almost like just because it's from Subway doesn't mean it's not like a decent sauce.
Well, I understand that. I mean, you can't. Ranch has to be more than just 2 ingredients.
Did you see? I don't know if it's true. I did not fact check it, but someone told me the other day, actually probably a couple weeks ago, that now in the U.S., Subway's bread is considered cake.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's no longer considered bread.
It's because of the calorie
Yeah.
per loaf exceeds that of what normal bread constitutes because of how much sugar they put in it.
I think it's really funny because like it was always a thing where at least when we were younger, people would be like, "Oh, UK's stupid because their Subways have cake." I don't know.
I don't think I remember hearing that argument.
I might be making things.
I know that they called stuff weird. Oh, speaking of things like weird like that, okay. You remember how we used to start the episode off cracking a bang every time?
Yeah, and coughing really loud, like just fucking idiots.
Yeah. There were simpler times. Dude, Bang just filed bankruptcy.
Why?
Just apparently they've lied about every single like health benefit.
That's probably why I feel so unhealthy.
It feels so wrong, but it feels so right.
That's
you know?
really upsetting because like I've specifically used Bang because
We
not-
thought it was a good thing.
not just because like I thought it had like some health benefits. I honestly didn't think it had any health benefits, but I really did think that at the very least it didn't have as many negatives to it, and like the really high caffeine count that it has mixed with the other vitamins that are supposed to like
Yeah.
L-theanine prevents you from it's
Well,
supposed
like-
to prevent you from shaking and shit.
Yeah.
With all of that, I was really hoping and like I thought and I spouted to that, like I told people that, this is going to give you a lot of energy and it's better for you, just drink it slow, and to know that like it's potentially nowhere like not even better than Monster, that makes me upset.
See, the crazy thing is like it did have a shit ton of caffeine. comparative.
Freaking milligrams.
300
dude.
milligrams. Well, dude,
I
there's
live off that now. I need 300. Dude, if I go to work without a bang, I'm drinking so we drink out of quart cups at work. So you know what a quart cup is? Like when you go to the Mexican restaurant, you have like a Mexican soup to go, whatever, chicken soup. It's gonna come in a quart cup, right? We drink out of those at work because it's the most secure, whatever. It's plastic. You spill it, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. And they have lids when you put it on there. It's like super sealed. You drop your cup, unless the lid breaks, it's gonna be fine, right? I will drink 1.5 of those filled with coffee when I don't take a bang. That's literally 6 cups of coffee, because a quart cup holds 4 cups.
Yep.
So 1.5 of those is what I will drink for a regular day when I don't take a bang. That's because Bang has trained me to function
Need
off
that
of
much caffeine.
300 milligrams of caffeine.
Well, and the crazy thing is, you want to know the only thing you can really get that's comparable caffeine content wise? Fucking C4 to go.
Or it's less, but it's I think it's a little bit more than Monster. Celsius is really nice.
But Celsius only has 140.
Yeah, but you just drink 2. It's
See,
right under 300.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone I work with drinks Celsius, and if you mix a Celsius with a purple Powerade, it tastes very good. I've only had a sip of it, but
I never
people I
considered
work with
that.
do that. Yeah,
it's almost like mixing blue Powerade and Sprite. You wouldn't think it makes sense.
Never done that.
What?
I mean, I've done suicides before, but
Yeah, but Suicide's way fucking different. This is literally Sprite and blue Powerade. It's literally the Subway combo, because Subway's the only place that has blue Powerade and Sprite on the tap right there. You can just.
I'd only ever get the triple X vitamin water.
Yeah, well, sometimes I just need a little carbonation in my life, and I'm telling you, that shit is good. You should try it. I'm telling you, it's really good. I just try to go for the straight 50-50 split.
I don't really care about all that.
If you find yourself at a Subway.
No, I mean, I drink one thing when I'm at Subway. It's triple X vitamin water.
Triple X vitamin water is really good.
It's the shit.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
So I got a new job while we've been away, and I fucking love it.
Yep.
And I'm working at a scratch kitchen now, and I can finally tell you where I had been when we. I don't think anybody's ever going to see the old episodes, but I talked about it a couple times. I worked at Chili's for 4 years.
I think I accidentally said you worked at Chili's.
I think I deleted that out.
Oh, you might have?
Probably. I don't know. Anyways, I worked at Chili's for 4 years, and now I'm at a scratch kitchen, and it's fantastic. It's hard work. It's difficult, but dude, I'm seeing things from a whole different light working in an environment like this where I make things from scratch. And the reason why I bring it up is because later on down the line, there's going to be a couple episodes I'm going to be doing with people that I work with there. And same shtick as before, bringing in friends, guests, whatever, interviewing, having anybody we can do this with us. And I'm excited for that. And, yeah, so if you're interested in learning about what it's like in the restaurant industry, we'll be going into that at some point, and I'm sure Ryan will end up talking about his job and everything, and teach some people about some insurance.
Not really. Mainly because I talk about insurance entirely too much.
Yeah, the whole idea behind this is to relax and be funny.
So that's kind of my point. There really is nothing funny about insurance. I mean, I could make a couple of wisecrack insurance jokes, but I'm not going to.
There is something funny that I learned today, and that is that Ryan...
What?
Orders Meals on Wheels. For anybody old enough to know what that means.
Mobile orders?
Yeah.
What's wrong with mobile orders?
What's wrong with it is that my grandparents did it when I was 12.
Okay.
When they were when my grandmother was in hospice.
But tell me the inconvenience behind it.
It's fucking gross, dude. You're ordering food people have already cooked for you days before. It's not even frozen, which I mean, if it was frozen, I guess it would be worse. But fresh frozen, whatever. It's just weird. Just make your own food.
Look, I don't do it. Okay, look. Here's my thought process behind it. One, I don't do it because I'm lazy.
I think you do.
I do it because and here's the thing.
Because you have access to all the recipes I've created.
I also don't order them because I think that they just fucking taste great. Do they taste amazing? No. Are they edible?
I swear to God, if you tie this into your diet.
Well, okay. One, yes, it does help out with a diet because you can specifically choose that I'm on a diet. So then you don't even have the temptation to eat something other than what's on your diet because all you have in the house is what is on your diet. So that's one. Two, you know what? When you make as much money as I do, you can afford to pay someone else to make your fucking food for you.
Why don't you pay me to make your food?
You gonna move to fucking Athens?
I told you I would.
Yeah, I gotta pay you like $50,000 a year. It's a hell of a lot more than I pay for my Meals on Wheels.
Well, yeah, but at least you'd have you'd be super fresh.
You'd have to live in my fucking house.
So
Rodney,
that's
I'm
what your
hungry.
comeback was.
I want breakfast.
Oh,
Just, you know what? One day, when you're making more money, and you don't have to cook for yourself anymore, you won't.
that's not true.
You might for fun.
I like to cook.
You like cooking. See, me, I do it more because it's like I have to.
Cooking professionally is rough, but I do like to cook.
There's like I will cook though. Like I
don't believe you.
just because I get Meals on Wheels doesn't mean that I won't cook something occasionally. It's just what I cook is very simple.
It's just so funny to me to know a 20 you're 25 now, right?
24.
20 fucking 4-year-old is ordering pre-cooked meals. It's dude, it's just
You know how many
I don't know,
people
it's
are
just
in my
weird.
exact same situation though? College students live on this shit.
okay, college students that's like one thing. But like you have like a full ass job when
Yep.
it's like only like 9 to 5.
Not really. I'm 9 to 5 in the field, and then I come home and I work from home.
Yeah, you could make time.
See, but that's the thing. That's another aspect of it too. For me to maintain a social life, I don't want to come home and spend an hour cooking every day.
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't have to spend an hour cooking. You like prep for the week. Like you figure out what you're gonna want. You're the type of person that this is perfect for because I can't do this. I cannot prep for the week. I can't like set a list of like, oh, I'm gonna cook this day. I'm gonna do this day. I'm gonna eat this day. I can't fucking do that. It's all dependent on how I'm feeling
See,
in the moment.
I can do that.
That's
But
exactly how you've lived your life. It's like, oh, I'm gonna eat this day. That's how your mom set you up, right? So like, you could easily plan out like, oh, okay, I want to eat, or I'm going to eat this, and this
See-
week. So I need to prep this, and this. So that way, when I go to cook it, it's gonna take me 10 minutes.
But see, you've got it backwards though, because my mom didn't prep me to do it like that.
But
My-
that's what she did for you.
No, not really. Not even that. Because what happened in our house is every single day, I get a phone call from my mom around noon, and she'd say, "What do you want for dinner?" And I would either give her 2 or 3 suggestions or just plainly say, "I don't know." Then she'd call my sister, and then she'd call my dad, and if she didn't get an answer from one of us that sounded okay, she would just go off the cuff. So every day, it was a complete fucking gamble what we were going to have. What my mom trained me
Well-
to do was write down what you had that day on a calendar. So that way, when you're looking at the calendar and someone like me, for example, pops up and says, "Yeah, let's have Rubens tonight." She can turn around, look at the calendar, and be like, "We literally had that like 6 days ago."
I don't know. I think really what it is, it's like a personal thing for me. It's like as soon as I hear like the cook in me hears that you get Meals on Wheels, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, hey, look, I'm not doing it because I think they taste amazing. Can I make a better meal? Probably. It's just who knows at this point, but it's really just for the convenience of it. It's not as expensive as you think it is. Like it's when you really tally
Sure.
up the cost of
I
groceries
can't
nowadays.
imagine though that it's worth the taste is worth the $6.
It doesn't taste that bad.
I'd have to try it.
Maybe I'm numb to it because I've been eating them for a couple
And
months.
maybe I've been having too good a food. Like, let me show you a picture of what, like, this is what is on our menu now, actually.
7 pepper burrito.
No, and it was a 9 pepper burrito, and they called it Rodney's chili beef burrito.
Sounds like a porno.
Yeah, that'll be on the breakdown for that'll be on my website if anyone's interested.
Perfect.
But see, look, that's what's on our menu right now. It's a beef brisket on a bed of mashed potatoes and some like house-made gravy and like colorful ass. I don't know what those carrots are called, but colorful carrots and some fried onions on top.
Looks pretty good.
That's a hearty ass meal right there.
See, I can get a meal like that by going to the restaurant and buying it.
Yeah, but like
I'll have to cook
going to a restaurant is better than Meals on Wheels. Maybe not price wise.
But here's the thing.
But if
also,
you make the money you do, you can afford to eat at a restaurant every night.
see, but it's not healthy to eat at a restaurant every night.
Says who?
Me. I don't.
It's not healthy financially, or it's not healthy like health wise? Because, so my restaurant, for instance, half our menu, yeah, sure, probably not the healthiest because like a lot of butter, a lot of fats, a lot of cholesterol, a lot of salts, shit like that, whatever. But the other half of at least my restaurant in particular is like mostly healthy.
See, but here's the thing. You work at a scratch kitchen, which is great, which means
There's
guys
a
have
lot more restaurants like the one I'm working at around.
I understand. But one, you guys are not exactly the most price conscious in the planet. So I'm not going to go in there and walk out of there with $10.
You saw the menu. You've eaten there.
I do. I get it. And it's good food. Don't get me wrong. It's good food. But here's another aspect to it. I'm going to eat something different every day. I'm not going to go to the same place 6 times in the same week, to get all the different healthy options that they have on their menu. And most places only offer shit that's not good for you. And even shit that is supposed to be good for you isn't good for you.
Yeah, if you're getting a salad from a fast food place, it's not.
If you look at a salad from
Just
McDonald's, it has just as much sugar as that fucking Coke you're about to drink.
Yeah, just give up.
It's just as bad. But the fact that the other aspect is there's no point in going to a restaurant either, because if I'm going to make the time commitment to go to a restaurant and eat, I might as well make the time to fucking cooking my own food. The best part about it is I can come home, I can deal with my dog. Oh yeah, I got a dog, by the way. I can deal with my dog and then go straight to the kitchen, throw 1, maybe 2 of them bitches in the microwave for 3 minutes, heat her right up, go sit down in my chair, can watch TV, I can eat, I'm done in 20 minutes. And then I can go into my office, I can work, I can do whatever.
That's the big difference. See, okay.
It's convenience.
When I'm at home and I gotta make dinner, it's like I love the process of making it, but then once I sit down to eat it, I get it. Okay.
But that's
you're also, I don't want to get super deep into it, but you're. Like I already said, the major difference between us is I value food differently than you do.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I love food. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But you're right. I mean, you appreciate things that I just can't. I just don't understand to. And that's another aspect of it too, is when think about our lines of work. You might work harder than me when you're at work. Maybe. I don't know.
Our jobs are so different. There's no real comparison.
Realistically, you can only compare your physical labor to my mental labor. Because,
Yeah,
I'm not getting up and running around and sweating and dying all day, but at the same
But
time.
you can't compare those two things.
But the mental fucking stress and the shit I have to think of on a daily basis is intense. But the thing is that when you clock out and you come home, you're home. You're here. You're not working. You work in a kitchen.
So I do have I don't know why I feel the need to physically show you. I have on that bookshelf right there. I have a couple fucking books that I'm required to study when I'm
good.
home.
Well, and that's good. But for me, imagine you come home and you have a new book to read every night.
Well, no, it's not like that. I just mean
But I'm saying that for me, that's
different.
what it's
Yes.
like.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So when I come home every night, I'm not done for the day. If anything, the stressful part, because when I'm talking to people on the road, I tell them, "Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that." And then they go, "Oh, okay, great." So then I leave.
You just made me think of a fantastic segue. Not to cut you out. I want you to finish your point, but that made me think of something I wanted to ask you. Are you done?
I'm just saying, I make all these promises when I'm out in the field, but I don't have time to fulfill those promises when I'm out in the field, so I have to do them when I get home.
Right.
Because or else I don't want to be the person who doesn't do what they say they're going to do.
Not only that, but your job depends on it.
Exactly, because if I tell you I'm going to shoot you an email tonight about something, about a proposal, about how your coverage is laid out, about what's going to be covered, what's not covered, filing the claim, whatever, I need to do that, and I can't just come home, drop off my bag, and say, oh, I'm done for the day. Sorry, I clocked out.
I want to ask you, I know the money is obviously worth it, and that's the big reason why you're willing to do this job. But realistically, how long? So, do you plan on doing this job forever?
Exactly what I'm doing right now?
I mean, selling insurance to make as much money as possible.
Selling insurance? No.
What?
Okay.
Don't break everything down. I just because I have a point.
So I don't want to necessarily be the guy who's knocking on doors, slinging insurance until I retire.
Well, right.
I don't want that.
Right.
My goal in life is I want to inspire and help other people become better for what they want to accomplish.
Through insurance?
No, and by any means.
Okay.
So in that veil, dude, when I sold mattresses, I had the same belief. That's why I did it.
I don't know,
So
it's a weird view to have as a salesman.
That's why I think I'm good at what I do, is because I'm genuine. I'm not selling to you for the wrong reasons. My goal is, yes, I'm money driven, yes, but I don't want to sell forever. I don't even want to sell for the next 10 years. Honestly,
I just can't imagine a job that's that demanding and takes up that much of your time. Yes, financially it's worth it, but like, how is it worth it outside of financial gain?
Because the one professional networking that I'm doing in the local area, I'm working with a lot more high profile people, which is good because you make connections and everything like that through your clients, your prospects, and everything like that. Not also to mention too, just the general people skills. I have overcome a lot of mental barriers. I thought I was a very confident salesperson when I worked at a mattress firm, but I had zero idea what I was getting into when I started this job. Dude, the first time I ever had to cold call someone, I'm walking into your business, strutting in there like I've got something to offer, and that business owner just looks you in the eye and says, "What are you doing here?"
You make that sound so dramatic.
It is. No, I'm being for real. This is how you build it up in your mind, though. When you're walking up to the first business for the first time ever, you got your suit and your tie on. You're walking up with your binder full of great and useful brochures and all this great stuff. But then you walk in there and you're like, "Hi, my name's Ryan, and I work for blah blah insurance. Who do you deal with for your insurance?" Dude, 99% of people tell you to get bent. They're like, "Get away from me."
There's no way they say it just like that.
Well, they don't say "get bent." I mean, they don't do that literally, but I'm saying like in a roundabout way. It's either, "Thanks, but I've got it. I'm not interested. Thank you. Bye," and they just shut you down and they walk away. I've even had people literally sit, like when I said I'm with an insurance company, they got out of their chair, walked around the counter, and opened the door for me to tell me before making one word to me, a comment, anything.
That seems weird. That's such a different realm from what I'm used to.
For me too, because I'm used to people coming to me. Like, people don't walk into a mattress store and don't expect to be greeted by someone like me. I'm good. Someone is going to approach you. You're not just going to walk into the store and it's empty. No one's around and you just get to free for all. No, when you walk into a furniture store, a salesman is going to approach you within the first 60 seconds of you walking in the door, and you expect that. You know it's going to happen. Yeah, you might blow him off, but guess what? You still need him. Like, let's say you see something and you want to know something about it. You got to go get the fucking guy. You need me. Yeah. Whereas being the insurance guy, I'm the one soliciting my services. So I walk in.
Hey kids, you want to buy some insurance?
Right. I literally walk in and I'm like, "Hey, you have insurance. Who do you have it through?" And they're like, "Dude, I'm good.
You're the shady insurance salesman?
I already bought my insurance." Yeah, and they automatically think I'm out to get them. And to be fair, there are people out there who've ruined it. It's the same thing for mattresses. People walked in and they assumed that I was some dirty car salesman who was there to take $15,000 and then never give them a bed. That's what they thought. And it's fair because there are shitty people out there who ruined it for the rest of us. But for me, I genuinely enjoyed, one, talking to people, and two, the service I got to provide to help people. That's why insurance, I'm helping on a larger scale. Right. Selling beds, I got to help an individual, a couple, whatever, which was great. But selling insurance, I get to help a company. And a company supports 10, 15, 100, 500 people. It's big. If I can give them the right insurance policy, that if something bad happens, they don't shut their doors and put 200 people out with no jobs, that makes me feel good. And the relationships I build with these people, I meet some really great people.
Yeah.
Some of these people are just awesome. And I like it. But again, I don't want to do that forever.
That's what my whole point was. Is that you're doing something that I feel like even you think is mildly boring. At least like the pathways you have to go through to get like the money you need after meeting these people and everything, all the paperwork and all that. That has to be so fucking boring, in my opinion.
It really depends on why I'm doing it. If I'm doing paperwork because I just sold an account and I'm getting a new client brought on board, that's exciting for me because I'm getting them all wrapped up. I'm getting everything done. I'm about to get paid on it. And, I get to get all this stuff. I get to bring them on board. I get to game plan what my year is going to look like with them. If I'm filling out paperwork because one of my clients just called me and said, I'm canceling, I need you to send me my cancellation documents and get me my loss history. Okay, that's different. Yeah, that sucks. Or you get shot an email that says, hey, the sale that you just made, we have some problems. I need you to call them and you need to get these 5 pieces of information within the next 48 hours or we're canceling everything. So when you get emails like that, yeah, that's stress. That's stress to the max.
Yeah, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with shit like that.
But stuff like that pops up all the time. I've been this week has been the most wild week for me because it feels like every single day I've gotten a text, a call, an email, whatever, from someone telling me that there's a problem with the deals I have in place right now. And now is like the one time I need all my deals to go through. So it's like, it's even more stressful because it's like, it's my money riding on this. It's my career advancement opportunities riding on this. There's a lot of stuff riding on me getting all this stuff wrapped up, and every single day a new challenge appears. And I've almost got to deal with it the second it pops up because if I don't, I'll never find the time to do it.
Yeah.
People used to, when I was interviewing for this job, people used to make jokes saying, oh, there's just not enough. When I'd say, how's your day going? They're like, well, there's just not enough time in it. Not enough time in the day to get everything done that I want to do. And I would always chuckle because I'm like, what? Days drag on. What are you talking about?
No. Dude,
no, that's not even kind of the case. Now that I've ever since started working this job, dude, I wish there was 6 extra hours every day.
Dude, now that I wake up at 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the fucking morning to go to work, which I've never done, at least not since we were in school, I fully understand what it's like not to have enough damn time.
Right.
Wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go to work, and then come home by like 3 or 4, something like that. And then you have like 4 or 5 hours before you like have to be in bed to wake up the next day. Or you just stay up and say, fuck it. And like, that's what true adulting is. And it sucks. I really miss the days where like I could stay up playing video games, waiting to go to fucking school. Like, just say, oh, like, screw it, I'm just not going to sleep too much before I go to school. And then, like, be fine at school the next day. Like, wake up, be like, for, like, an hour. And then
you're fine.
You're
like,
good.
A groove.
Yeah. You're like, you're good to go. And now you're like, I'm like, what, 24? Whatever. I'm still quite young, but, dude.
We're in a situation where me and you kind of jumped into the real world really fast for how young we are.
Yeah.
Like for me, most of my peers are in their 30s and 40s. There is a handful of people out there that are doing what I'm doing straight out of college, but a lot of them don't last very long simply because of that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the grind of you wake up at 5 a.m.
I like waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I like being home at like 3 or 4.
And going to bed at a reasonable time.
Going to bed at a reasonable time, I don't give a shit as long as I get 8 hours of sleep. That's all that matters to me.
So you have to go to bed at a reasonable time to get 8 hours of sleep. You got to go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Not if you don't work until 4 the next day. So sometimes I work nights after working morning shift. So like
it pans out.
Yeah, I'm able to I got
a full 24 hours to yourself.
Yep. There you go. So anyways, just the whole fucking process after getting up at 6, going to work, having to be at work. It's nothing like school. It's better than school. I'm actually doing shit that's fun.
Yeah, see, that was the biggest thing about school. You didn't like what you did when you were going to school. School was more of a chore because you were forced to do it. Whereas work, I don't dread getting up in the morning because, I chose this. Mm-hmm. I'm choosing to do this. And plus, me and you are obviously different people when it comes to that. You're more of a night owl. You like staying up. You like getting shit done at night.
That's changing. That's definitely changing.
But either way, that's how you've been for a large. You're the type of person that could easily stay up until 6 a.m. Yeah, it would suck.
Not anymore.
But you
I
understand.
Stay till 4.
But you understand my point.
Yeah.
I can't make it to midnight. Okay, but see, I am a morning person. I don't know who gave it to me or what, but I'm the type of person that when I wake up in the morning, dude, I love.
Okay, we're good. That was odd. The recording stopped for some reason. Anyways, you were saying?
I'm very much a morning person. I love my morning routine. The whole aspect of my life is chaos. Like, there's not a whole lot that's consistent, that stays the same every single day. But the one thing that never changes is my morning routine. I wake up and I do the exact same thing every single morning. I leave the house at the same time every morning, and I do the exact same thing every single time. Dude, but I love it. I love the consistency, the continuity of it.
I like having my work schedule consistent, and that's it.
See, for me, I need at least one aspect of my life that is controllable, something that's always the same.
So you're a control freak.
I like to have some sort of control. Yeah.
You like to control the ladies. I'm kidding.
I wish.
That was a weird way to say that.
Yeah, it was a weird. But either way, yeah, I like my morning routines because my afternoons change every time. I don't know what time I'm going to get home. I don't know what kind of work I'm going to have on my plate when I get home. But one thing I do know is that every morning when I wake up, I do the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
And I like it. You know what? It's not for everybody. Most people aren't morning people, and I get that. It's fine. You don't have to be. If anything, I prefer if the people that I'm around are not morning people, because part of my morning routine is being alone.
I do agree with that.
I like waking up and being, even when I lived with Ansley, I loved the idea of waking up in the morning and it was just me.
Well, like, that's the whole reason why I like staying up late. That's like the same concept for most people that stay up late.
It's just the opposite.
They just like to kind of have that time for themselves.
Yeah, and that's why I like my mornings, because most people are not willing to wake up at 2 to 3 hours before they actually need to leave to go somewhere, just so that way they can have some time. But I do. I like it.
Right. I get it. All in all, sounds pretty boring. Your job is good for you, but the one thing I hate about your job is how little time you fucking have to do anything. That's why I wanted to bring all that up. Because I fucking wish we never had to stop. And I blame your job for that.
You know what, though? I think stopping was good. And the only reason I say that is because think about how the things are going to be different. Think about just the conversations we've had regarding this podcast as of late and how things will be done differently this time. Because like you even said it before, we were almost trying way too hard to be Joe Rogan off the rip.
Dude, like Joe Rogan, like any fucking popular podcast, we were trying to be like that instantly. And like that's not going to happen because you got to start somewhere.
Got to get there.
This is our way of kind of not full on restarting, but kind of restarting.
Yeah. It's more of a not necessarily
a fresh start.
Yeah. It's like the remake. You know, stay true to our roots, but
V.B.P Prophecy 2.0. What's up?
V.B.P Prophecy remake. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
speaking of remakes, or I guess just games in general.
Horrible segue.
No,
I just want to say.
I want to talk about that because we've already been talking for 45 minutes. So, either way, did you see the game Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, I have seen some of it. I don't remember anything that I've seen. I remember it looks good, and it.
Dude, it's literally the Dead Space predecessor.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like I couldn't remember if there was a big developer behind it, or if
Never heard of them.
Or if it was that they were pulling off what another video game had done, but really well.
Yeah, so a lot of people liked the Dead Space games. Well, maybe not the third one, but...
Dude, I fucking love the third one. But
see,
I didn't play the first two either.
But everyone hated it because it was almost like the difference between Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, well, I didn't like 6, and I really liked 7, so that makes sense.
That's the opposite, because Dead Space 3 was not horror, it was more action.
Oh, yeah, well, that's kind of
why... Whereas one was literally terrifying, and 2 was
a
little more terrifying. Like, I wouldn't say more, but it was still scary, but it was a little more action-packed, but, dude, Dead Space 3 was just not
I didn't realize that's what you meant. That's why I liked Dead Space 3, because it was a little scary, but I could play it by myself at that age, whatever, and because, like, that was, like, our whole thing, is that we always played horror games together. We haven't talked much about that. We'll get into that in a minute, but, it was one of the few games I could play by myself without it being too scary, and I could play it multiple times, and it was still very fun, and like they had a really cool system with the New Game Plus where every time you went into New Game Plus, you were getting better and better and better gear. It wasn't just like, oh, you're going to get better gear the second time you play and that's it. It's going to be capped out at that point. It was like every single time you went through the game, a second, third, fourth, fifth time, you wound up getting the best loot you could possibly get. And it wasn't that it took like 4 hours, I think it was like 7 hours to beat. So I could come home, I could play it in 2 days, completely beat it, and then like for a whole week, whatever, and then just for a couple hours a night and have like all this kind of fun.
See me,
God, I can't talk.
I'm an OG Dead Space guy.
I know.
I played Dead Space 1 when it PS3 launched.
Yeah, I never...
and it was absolutely terrifying. I don't think it took me. I think it took me 3 years to finally nut up and just play it.
I was not into horror games until we met.
And that was about the time that I finally, because I remember specifically like when me and you started playing like Amnesia and stuff. That was about the time that I said to myself, because I started watching like Markiplier and stuff like that.
PewDiePie, and who was the other guy? Always wore the green shirt.
Tobuscus.
Those are the 3 guys that we like. The first 3 YouTubers, and Vanoss Gaming. I don't know if
I never really got into Vanoss.
Paul and I did.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Paul's coming into town soon. I just remembered that.
I was never really close with Paul.
I know you were. Paul's my dude. I fucking love that guy, and it's been a long time since I've seen him. By the way, I ended up paying it. I think I ended up paying it back the $30 he gave you for
Friday the 13th.
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure. Like, cause like there was I know I'm getting off track, but there was a couple
bought
times.
It for me.
There was a couple times he like gave me money for a game or whatever, and I didn't pay him back right away, and like 2 years later, multiple times I've just like sent him money out of nowhere and be like, hey, I think I owed you this. I'm doing okay now, so here's this money.
Yeah, I remember because we were all playing Fortnite or something. I don't know, and I got mad and I didn't want to play anything.
Yes,
and he was and no, you guys said you wanted to play Friday the 13th, and I said sorry, I'm not dropping the $30 to buy it. It's not worth it to me. And at the time, I'm a frugal bitch, but
dude, that game was so fun. God,
I'm
what were we
so
talking
glad we
about
played
just
that.
a second ago? Let's
Dead
finish
Space.
that. Okay,
Callisto Protocol.
No, what was I saying about Paul?
I don't know. You just said that you and Paul or Vanoss Gaming was what you and Paul got
showed
into.
me Vanoss Gaming, right? So Vanoss Gaming, Tobuscus, Markiplier, PewDiePie. Those are the guys, all the people that I watched back in the day. Also, Two Best Friends Play. That was something that we watched. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't really watch it all that much. I knew the concept, but we based what we wanted to do because we wanted before the podcast and everything. This is probably back in
started as a concept.
2012, 2013.
Yeah,
we told ourselves we want to be just like Markiplier, PewDiePie, but we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to be
Two Best Friends Play.
Yeah, me and you would sit around a mic. You would play. I would just sit there and watch and comment.
Guide, fucking comment.
Yeah. And then we ended up just doing that for years without any kind of recording. I mean, we recorded some things, but it never got posted
because
it was never worth it
to work correctly.
Yeah, because I remember we played all of Amnesia that way.
Yeah,
Amnesia. We literally sat in my bonus room and just played it the entire time with the lights off.
That was so we used to search the fucking internet for hours looking for different free horror games we could play.
I remember because we stumbled across Slendy Tubbies.
I forgot about that.
Slendy Tubbies.
God, there were so many others.
There was a bunch of others that like you down. Remember Eerie?
You remember Dusty's Castle?
Oh no. I do.
I was sitting here thinking, I was trying to remember the name.
Oh, dude.
I'm glad. No, I don't want to say anything else about it. If anybody knows the name, they'll know what I'm talking about. That's it. That was a game.
I'm not talking about that game.
That was a game. That was a weird time.
You showed that to me, and it changed me.
Yeah. Anyways.
But not for the good. But no, there was, oh my God. I remember I tried for years to try to find a free version of the game because I just didn't want to spend the $20 on it. Penumbra.
Yeah, we tried so hard. Black Mesa to get that shit to work. Penumbra.
The Black Plague.
The Black Plague. I don't remember that.
Penumbra, the Black Plague is what it was called.
Yeah. And then yes. Do you remember the level in I don't know if it was black. I think it was Penumbra.
Where we
Where
got
every
stuck.
time we'd go through the door, it would glitch out. We wouldn't be able to progress.
The monster would get stuck. It was this tiny little
But then we would instantly die as soon as we went through the door, and then fall through the floor, and that would be it.
The game was over.
The game would fuck up.
Yeah, it was almost like because
it's like a pirated version, it knew it.
Yeah, it was.
That's what it felt like.
It was just punishment because there was nothing to do. It was like you just
black screen. That was it.
You went into a room, you opened a door, a monster came out, it got stuck in midair, and then you went through the door behind it and died instantly, and then had to restart. It was dumb, but either way, that was kind of the.
That's what started our friendship.
Yeah, really. Was freaking Amnesia.
Amnesia.
Well,
yeah.
Slender.
Yeah, and I used to the fucking Doritos Jack Chipotle.
Oh.
God, best fucking brand.
I still wish they'd bring those damn
best
chips
Doritos
back.
ever created. Jack
Yeah.
Chipotle, and that wasn't even the full name. It was Doritos Jacked Chipotle something.
I don't know what the other part
I don't
was.
remember what the other thing was either. But
All I knew is it was the orange bag of Jack chips.
They were super thick chips.
Because they only had two. It was the equivalent of kettle cooked Doritos.
Yeah,
But it was
super thick, extremely seasoned.
They only had two flavors.
Yes.
It was Chipotle and buffalo wing.
Yeah, something like that.
And the Buffalo Ranch one wasn't that good. It was
that
just
one still circulates every once in a while.
right, and that was the weird part. That was the one that made it.
That's fucking. Dude,
And the
Jack
Chipotle
Chipotle's
one
the
it
best.
came and it died. And then jalapeno Cheetos and Pop-Tarts.
Fucking and all the do.
Literally just voltage. Maybe some Pitch Black in there.
And some regular.
Did we drink regular?
I think so.
I don't think we ever drank regular.
I don't remember, but
You might have accidentally brought a regular 12-pack.
The whole thing that we're doing now started then, and it's just progressed. Whatever. I mean, it just hit a point where I was like, well, I make my own money now. Like, why not do what we talked about then?
Yeah.
You know. But
Back to the original point of Callisto Protocol.
Yes, we got way off.
Jesus Christ. It's a lot of people really like Dead Space, and it was a good game series. I mean, the first game was amazing. The second game was really good, and then the third game they kind of just, I don't know, they were trying to do what everyone else was doing, which was make an action-packed game, and it wasn't what the Dead Space fans wanted. I guess at least me particularly, I didn't want it, and then EA decided to just dissolve Visceral Gaming altogether. Who's what made Dead Space.
What's going on with the new...
So Callisto is made by a completely separate third-party company, and now they're just it's not based on Dead Space. It's supposed to be like it. It's over the shoulder.
Yeah, it's like a
spiritual successor.
Yeah, there it is.
But here's the thing: fans have already gotten so fired up about Callisto Protocol. They've already released. They're doing a PS5 re-release of Dead Space 1.
That's literally what I was about to bring up. I was like, and I don't think it's a re-release. I think it's like a full. Is it a full remake or is it just a reskinning?
The game will be the same, like the story.
Yeah, always.
But they're But everything is different. The engine's different. The textures are different. The scenery, they're redesigning a lot of the.
So that's a full remake, meaning they're completely remaking the game in its entirety. From the ground up, but it's the same game.
Yeah, it's still Dead Space 1.
That's like
and they might introduce dialogue or something because Isaac never spoke in the first game.
Right. It's like what they did with Resident Evil 2 and 3. They they rebuilt those games in a new engine.
See, but here's the thing though. They strayed away from the source material.
Did they?
Yes.
Well, I never played 2 and 3.
Cuz I mean 2 was a lot more to the successor. I think they redid 2 really well. But when they did 3...
added levels to 2, I knew that much.
Yeah, they added some extra stuff, but it needed it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they cut out some puzzles because, let's face it, back in the 90s, the only thing that was entertaining about the game was the damn puzzles. But in the third game, man, they foobarred that thing. I mean, they exited out 70% of the good shit. I mean, Nemesis, here's the thing. Mr. X, the way that they did Mr. X... was beyond anybody's expectations because Mr. X wasn't like that in the second game. He had scripted moments where he popped into a room, you fought him for a hot minute, he went away, and then he showed up again later in the game. You fought him 2, maybe 3 times, and then he morphed into a monster and he was a boss fight and then he killed him. That was it. That was his role in the second game. Well, then when they redo the second game, they turn him into a fucking constant spawn where he's literally just stalking you throughout. If anything, that is exactly what Nemesis should have been. Because dude, in the third game, that's what Nemesis did. He would show up at the most inopportune fucking times, and it was always in these cramped little fucking spaces. You didn't really know whether or not you wanted to fight him. You only had split seconds to decide if you wanted to fight him, because he'd sprint at your dumbass and haymaker you right in the fucking jaw, and that was it. Or fucking blow you up with a bazooka or something. So that's what we wanted. So when I saw what they did with Mr. X, everyone was like, oh my god. If this is how bad Mr. X is, I can only imagine how terrifying Nemesis is going to be, because he's literally Mr. X that sprints and uses guns. And he looks more terrifying.
I didn't play 3, like the remake or the original.
But then in the new game, he stalks you for like the first hour of the game, and then he morphs into a new, because I mean he does. The thing about the original game, the third game, is that he stayed Nemesis basically until the end of the game. Like, he was just a big tyrant. Yeah, did he change and get, like, tentacles and become, slower or whatever? Yes, that did happen. But he was still Nemesis basically until the final boss fight when he turned into that weird fucking, like, lion-looking thing. But in this game, he's only Nemesis for, like, the first hour. And that's being optimistic. You can complete that section of the game in 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, if you're hauling ass and you know where everything is. And then he morphs into the dog-like thing. And that's it. Nemesis is gone. He's not a mob spawn anymore. He's not going to just... You're not going to fire your gun and then all of a sudden he's just going to start beelining to you wherever he's at on the map like Mr. X. He's gone. He's scripted at that point, and he's a big, grotesque monster now.
I think you've lost your point. I know you love Resident Evil.
I did.
Let's go. It's Callisto Protocol.
Callisto
Protocol looks good. It's very similar to Dead Space. It's like it's a spiritual predecessor, whatever. When is it coming out? Do you know?
12/6.
12/6. Dude, that's God.
It's like a month away.
Is it really? Holy!
It's the end of October, my guy.
I know. I just keep forgetting like how.
Yeah, we've only got a month, and the re-release of Dead Space 1 is going to come out January.
Arkham Knights came out today.
I haven't seen a single thing. Only thing I know is that it's like a Batman game, but it's like a co-op or something.
You should check it out. I think I've seen like 2 trailers for it. I think it comes out today, 21st or the 22nd. It looks really good, and apparently the co-op is set up in a way that you can drop in and out of people's games, kind of like Dead Island or whatever. But you can effectively play in another player's world without them ever knowing that you're there. So, I guess the world... I'm not 100% on this, but I guess the world changes is like different for each player or whatever. A lot of games claim to do that kind of shit. I don't know how extensive it is. I'm going to buy it. Maybe today. I don't know. I'm going to buy it because Tyler and I are going to play it together. But... the co-op mechanic is supposed to be really unique and really impressive and cool and all this and that. And it sort of works in the same way that Dead Island did, where like when you go into somebody else's world, I don't think you're going to be progressing your own progress, but like you can clean up side like little missions and shit on people's maps for them that's like what I understand from it. I'm not 100% because there's been like one trailer for it, one explanation that I've actually seen.
At that point, you'd have to get something out of it though, because what incentive do I have to
drop
into someone's
rewards
game?
And shit for doing that, but I'm not 100% on if it affects your specific game because like there's supposed to be a reason to go into other random players' games if not your friends. Yeah. So like I think you can like while your friends offline even go into their world and like fuck around or something. I'm not 100%. I need to do more research on that. But it looks really good. Like everything about it looks fantastic. It looks like the fighting style is similar to like Rocksteady's Arkham games, which was like that's the staple for melee combat games. Now it's like super flowy and excessive. I don't know exactly what words to use necessarily, but it appears to be the same way, and then like everything else about it looks really good. I have not done enough research on it to really talk about it. I forgot that it was coming out today.
Huh.
Tyler and I had an agreement to where I would buy that and he would buy Need for Speed, the new Need for Speed, and we'd play both together.
There's still only one game I'm playing.
God, you're such a fucking tool. It's just Apex. That's all you fucking play. You don't expand your horizons. What
Callisto
happened
Protocol.
to you? Yeah, okay. That's one game
Yeah.
out of many that's come out. Like, I started playing Minecraft again.
I'll play. You know what? I'm gonna play the Dead Space re-release when it comes out for sure. Even though I've already beaten Dead Space 1 probably 20 times, but I will play it.
What about Sons of the Forest? So that's supposed
Oh,
to come out.
100% I'm gonna get that.
I don't
It's like March or something next year is the TBD date
Sons
at the
of
moment.
Forest looks so good.
I know. I'm fired up.
So good, dude.
Dude, The Forest, people underestimate that game. It's so good.
I don't know that anyone did. There was a hype for it.
No, I feel like when it came out, no one was really talking about it a whole lot. Like, there was a handful of people who liked it, but it really wasn't like a big thing. But then all of a sudden, people just like one day just like got into it, and then it became something big.
My favorite part about that game was that I went the entire game without knowing that there were basically developer blueprints, like the hang glider and the mega church and the fucking glide tower and shit.
I don't think I made any of that stuff until after I'd already beat the game.
Well, we made it together in our world, whatever. When we
and they took
replayed the game,
forever, dude.
oh yeah, it took so long. But
we spent a whole day just building that damn church.
that was my favorite thing about that, was that we both went the entire game without ever finding those things, because like they're in the game and they're not that far off of any given path. They're not that hard to find.
You really just have to look it up, because you're never just gonna happen across them.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, I love that aspect about that game, and I love any game that does that, where not a game that has so much shit you're just not gonna find it, but a game where, like, even if you think you've explored it extensively, there's still things left to be found. I love that.
Yeah, The Forest. I mean, I dumped a lot of hours in that game because I did a playthrough with you and I did a playthrough with John.
I did 2 or 3 with Tyler and myself.
It was good. I mean, it was good. The whole process of grinding to go find certain things and then just like trying to survive. Like I literally made a point of it to not stop playing the game until I fought the mega monster.
You know the worm?
Yeah, that thing.
The worms, whatever.
Well, they're literally just like little pieces that connect to each other.
Yeah.
They turn into a helicopter and all kinds of weird stuff. They destroyed my entire base. Because each one of those pieces, when it moves,
yes, I know,
it destroys a whole panel.
Yeah. Tyler and I have successfully fought one when it turned into a bird and shit. That was crazy. But I just replayed Days Gone. The reason why I replayed it is because I thought I hadn't beat it, and then I got to where the credits rolled, and I was like, I remember everything that's just happened, and I'm upset that I replayed this. Because I
never played it.
Well, I know you haven't, because you've been playing fucking Apex since it came out. But if this game came out a while ago.
I remember when it came out, there was a hype for it, and then all of a sudden everyone was saying like it wasn't as good as they wanted it to be.
It's a good game. The story is what I think most people were upset about, but the main character is the most memorable.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that played in The Force Unleashed. Star Killer? Yeah. From The Force Unleashed? PlayStation 2? You don't fucking remember those games?
Played Battlefront 2.
Oh, God. Such a tool. The original or the new one?
The original.
Okay, well, better. But still.
Battlefront 2 was dope.
Dude, The Force Unleashed was dope.
Never played it.
Second one wasn't that great, but it was still dope. I don't know. Dude, it's a really
I also
good game.
played the movie game, Star Wars 3, Revenge of the Sith. The movie game. Remember that?
No. I played... The original Star Wars game I played was Obi-Wan. Star Wars Jedi Force Obi-Wan, something like that. But it big green lines going across the cover and 2 guys fighting with lightsabers. It's for the original Xbox, and it just said Obi-Wan, big white and green letters at the bottom.
I don't think I ever played that.
That was like a free roam sort of game where it's not totally free roam. You went into levels because shit was limited back then. But that was a game I played, and then Star Wars Jedi Force 3, I think. Jedi Knight is what it was. And there was a mode in that because it was like the second game or second or third game to Obi-Wan. There was a mode in one of those games where you could do arena battles with multiplayer where, like, you know, plug the fucking controller into the front of the Xbox and play with multiple people, but you could also do NPCs, like fight against NPCs, and that used to be my favorite thing to do. Kind of like in Smash Bros. Brawl, like the original OG shit, or Melee or Brawl, one of the two. I used to go in, play as an NPC, and like just get all the power ups and just do all these like slow motion flips and kick people in the face. Like, it used to be my absolute favorite thing to do in those games. And I can never remember the name of the 2 Star Wars games I'm talking about, even now. I know they exist, and like you can buy copies of them on the PS5 right now.
Do you have the premium subscription
for PlayStation Plus? Yeah.
Same.
I mean, if you had PlayStation Plus, like you bought the yearly subscription for PS Plus before they did this, then you automatically have it.
No,
yeah.
I didn't get it.
I did.
Weird.
I automatically had access to everything on PlayStation Plus.
It's weird. I had to upgrade, and I always bought annual pass.
I've
had the annual pass on fucking reoccurring payments since the PS4 came out.
It used to be November 24th, but now it's October. It came out like last week, and I was upset because I was like, "What the fuck is this $90 payment for PlayStation?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I have the one where I can stream like Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper.
Yeah, I can do all that. The biggest reason why I have that is because now it includes PlayStation Now, whatever.
Yeah, you play all the PS3 games and stuff.
So I'm able to play Oblivion whenever I want. Sadly, they can't fucking download it, which upsets me.
Why?
But you just can't. It's one of the few games. A lot more than a couple of the games on PS Now can't be downloaded. They can only be streamed. I guess because some of the PS3 games are so specific to the PS3, and as you know, the PS3 was not easily backwards compatible. Like the PS4 and PS5 cannot easily backwards compatible.
Yeah, I guess.
Easily backwards compatible with the PS3. No, that's not, I guess. Like the PS3 was very proprietary and very hard to work with. That's why there weren't a lot of games for it, and that's why
I feel like my PS3 was always backwards compatible.
Yes, no, that's not what I'm saying. Your PS3, most PS3s were able to go backwards to 1 and 2, right? But anything past the PS3 has a very difficult time going back to the PS3.
Yeah.
But they can still do 1 and 2. The PS3 was just the odd man out.
The PS4 could play PS2 games?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yes, I have I don't even think they're like what's the word when they remake the game?
Remaster?
Yeah, I don't even think they're remastered. I have the original Spyro games. I have the remastered versions, but I have the original Spyro games that I can play on my PS5. Yeah. It might be because I owned them digitally when I had my PS3, therefore I still... Because I have access to my entire digital library on my PS5 all the way to the PS3. Like, games I will never play again, I could re-download. I also do still have my PS3 downstairs and could fucking download those games. But, point is, the PS3 is the odd man out. I don't know how we got here, but that's my point.
Callisto Protocol.
Fucking Callisto Protocol. Oh, well, at least when we get on a topic like games, like we can conversate. Jesus
pivot.
Christ, dude.
Pivot.
It's like a full hour into this, and like we've been flowing.
Yeah.
But sadly, I think it's time to end.
Yeah.
We'll get back at it. So, I'm not entirely positive when this episode is going to go out. You will notice a difference for anybody that's seen us on YouTube. There won't be video for this because
fuck all that.
Coming back, we decided video is just too much. We have the ability to do it, but with
limited viewership and limited time.
Yeah, and
it doesn't make sense for now. Maybe someday when and if this podcast ever were to generate some sort of revenue or something.
Whatever
along those lines.
direction this podcast goes will decide
Yeah.
what we do in the future.
Because for now, I think the biggest thing is at first when we launched this podcast before, we were trying to turn it into a business, and I think that what we realized is that what we need to do this podcast for is we're doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Something because we just want to do it, something to pass the time, something interesting to do. We're not teaching you anything. We're not
trying to be anything more than we are.
We're literally just two guys having a conversation about random shit.
And if you'd like to come and listen to that, come join us whenever we upload.
And if not, no hard feelings, but go fuck yourself.
100%. Last thing I want to say is, as we continue to do this, we will come up with some sort of schedule, but
for now, it's just going to be when me and him have time, we will record an episode, and it will get uploaded when it gets uploaded, and we don't really know what that looks like yet.
Like you just said, you don't like that? Go fuck yourself.
That's right.
Have a good day.